It was an awesome week for the Real Madrid players in the round of 16. We had bicycle kicks and stoppage time, as well as multiple man of the match performances. So we're going to talk all about that, as well as a little bonus Copa America. I have to talk about Vinny and the performance that he put on against Paraguay. He put on a show in Las Vegas, so definitely going to be talking about that. So let's jump into it. First, starting with Germany. I usually have been starting with Toni Kroos when I'm talking about Germany, but for this one, I have to talk about my man of the match, and that would be Rudiger. Rudiger had a fantastic game in this. He was my man of the match, which is the most important of all, but he was also UEFA's man of the match in this game too. As I've said before, when the lights are the brightest, Rudiger shows up, and that's what he did in this. Defensively, he was fantastic for Germany. Duel after duel, it seemed like he won, and just clearing the ball out, just tracking back and just making saves and stuff for Germany. Just an awesome, awesome game for him. And I'm super happy for Rudiger. And I think he's going to continue that. And he has a real, real big chance to continue that against Spain. That's going to be a really difficult matchup for him. But Rudiger, fantastic game. 7.8, but I think that's a little undervalued from what he put out there and from what I saw, and as well as what UEFA saw as well. So shout out to Rudiger. Fantastic game from him. Looking over at Toni Kroos, Mr. Consistent. That's what he's been. It's another fantastic performance by him. He's just so good. I say it every time, but oh my God. He's just so consistently good. 8.1 rating for him. He had a 96% passing, and he plays the full 90 again. And someone mentioned to me the other day that Gundogan is better than Kroos, which is offensive. Honestly, don't say that. That's offensive to what Tony's done at the club level, as well as what he's done internationally as well. So let's not ever even mention that. Plus, Gundogan doesn't even play the same position. But even if he did, Tony is just head and shoulders above what Gundogan is. And so, again, for Tony, the only thing I'd like to see from Tony is maybe an assist. Maybe a goal. I would love him to rip in a goal against Spain. And so we'll see if he can get that. But otherwise, Mr. Consistent. He's definitely been the most consistent player this entire tournament. And so it'd be tough to give him, is he going to win player of the tournament? I don't know about that. If I had to guess, not Real Madrid related, but Cody Gakpo would be my favorite right now to win it. But we'll see how the Netherlands do. But yes, Toni Kroos, again, fantastic performance by him. He continues to deliver for Germany. And for Germany to succeed, Tony will need to be a big reason for that. So another one, fantastic for Tony. Moving over to England, who else? Right? That's what Bellingham said. Who else? First, we just have to start. He saves the day again for England. I said it was a hot take a couple of weeks ago, but I'll say it again. If it wasn't for Bellingham, England wouldn't be where they are today. I don't think they would have done well in the group. Think about it. They had 2 goals in the group. Bellingham and Kane. That's who scored again for them. And if Bellingham doesn't get that goal and they draw that game, they finish, I think it would have been dead last in the group. So once again, like I said, who else but Bellingham to come and save the day for England again? And it's just an overall good game from him. Another, for me, I would give him the man of the match. I believe he actually won it for UEFA as well. And he continues to deliver for England. And he's a 21-year-old now, so I'm going to have to remember that he's not 20 anymore. So, maybe it's the maturity with him. Maybe he's just stepping it up. But if it's not for Bellingham being out there, England struggles. It's weird. He won a lot more duels in this one. His dribbling still needs some work. He's definitely, he can't dribble as well as like a Musiala or anything yet. But Musiala's been playing left wing, so it's almost hard to compare the two. But again, Bellingham, he just has the knack for scoring that goal. And what a bicycle kick that was. And just, somebody who just plays in the moment. And England needed that one. If they don't get that, they're out of this tournament. So, again, shout out to Bellingham. I'll be honest, I was rooting for Slovakia other than for Bellingham. But I am happy that Bellingham was able to save the day for England and that we get to continue to watch him yet for another game. So shout out to Bellingham. Great game from him overall. Moving over to Spain now. We had Carvajal, who got the start. He had a 7.3 rating. Spain dominated the game again. It was 4-1 for Spain. Carvajal had a good game, 96 passing from him. And him and Lamine Yamal, again, just the link up. I'm gonna put up something right now. This is the heat map right here. I'll put it up. Is that Lamine Yamal or is that Danny Carvajal? Okay, that's Danny Carvajal, but here, that's Lamine Yamal. Look at this heat map. Look how similar this is and where they're linking up together. He's overlapping him, and that's the thing with Carvajal. He plays as like a right wing back more so than anything. He's helping Lamine Yamal. I think that's going to go unnoticed unless you are somebody like a Real Madrid fan who's really noticing how effective and how important Danny Carvajal has been for Spain. So good game overall for him. No Nacho and no Josuelu in this game. And so I don't know. Nacho's, unless we get some yellow cards for the center backs, I'm not sure if he's going to be playing. Maybe they substitute him if that German game goes long into extra time. We'll see what happens like that. Josuelu, I don't think is going to be getting any playtime, unfortunately, from him. I think they'd probably bring on Torres, if I got his name right. They'd probably bring on him and maybe somebody else too, but I think Morata is going to be out there the most. I could see Josuelu maybe at Pens or something like that, but otherwise I don't think he's going to be getting a lot of playtime, so unfortunate for him. Moving over to France, Kylian Mbappe gets to start for them. He's technically was a dual striker with Thurman in this game, but honestly, he's playing left wing. That's really what he's playing. Dribbling-wise, though, Mbappe is looking fantastic. The more and more he gets into this tournament, he looks better and better at dribbling. He still needs to work on some of the shots. Still, my big thing I talked about last week is the lack of like pace on these balls. It's weird. Like he had one that was pretty close. It just went over the bar, but not a lot of pace on some of these shots. I feel like if he can get one in a game, I think he's going to get a brace and get that second one. I just see it happening. But his link-up play with Hernandez is really starting to work out a lot. And so I think that France is a really big opportunity against Portugal. That's going to be a tough match. And I think mentally for Mbappe too, that you have to kill basically Ronaldo here. You have to kill your idol. And I think that Mbappe has that in him. And I think, if anything, he's going to really want to show out in that game. That is going to be a huge game to watch on a Friday. I think that those two games, the Spain-Germany game and the France-Portugal game, are going to be must-see TV. Can't wait for those. Maybe doing a live stream for those. We'll see what happens, but we'll see. If you want to do a live stream, if you want to see that, let me know in the comments below. We'll see what happens with that. But I think those are going to be really exciting games. And I think Mbappe is really going to step up for that. He had a good game overall, 8.2 for him. But I think the next one, I expect more. And I would expect a goal from Mbappe in the next one. But we'll see what happens with that. Moving over to who my man of the match was for France. And that would be Tchouaméni. Tchouaméni looked fantastic in this game. The switch passes that he was getting, they were Kroos-esque, honestly. It was switching it over to Koundé, and these are long balls, and just fantastic from him. He does get a yellow card in this game, which was awful. That ref was terrible in that game. Basically what happened, Mbappe kicks the ball, it heads off one of the Belgium defenders, and Tchouaméni is like, what is that, man? Like, what is that? Yellow. Immediately. Trash. Terrible. But the thing I liked about Tchouaméni is just, man, he's taking these shots, which I appreciate, and which I hope he's doing more for Real Madrid next season. And none went in. He had a couple really good opportunities in this game. But the biggest thing, defensively, he was fantastic. And he was spraying this ball all over the park. Awesome game from him. Just a masterclass of just passing, and defensively, he was just fantastic in this game. France go on to win 1-0. And defensively, the whole team did pretty good, but especially Tchouaméni. So shout out to him. He would be my man of the match for that one. Unfortunately, in the game, we did not get to see Camavinga. With Rabiot now getting a yellow card in that game, he will be out next week. So I would expect to see Camavinga start in that role. Maybe they bring on a Kolo Muani or something like that, but I would hope that Camavinga will start the game, and then they might need more attacking, so we'll see. But I would love Camavinga to get some more playing time. So hopefully we see that next week. No Mendy again, unless Theo Hernandez is hurt, I do not expect him to come out. And so unfortunately for Mendy, I don't expect him to play honestly the rest of this tournament. So it's all good. Moving over to Turkey, Arda Güler is just class. I think we don't understand the level that this kid can get to. Still only 19. He starts for Turkey in a 9, but honestly, he was playing more like the false 9. He was kind of just all over the field. But the biggest thing is these corners are so good. Right away in the first minute, he has this fantastic corner, especially if he can go to the right corner and get this left-footed shot to curl in. This is a ridiculous corner. This is very Kroos-esque, except for Kroos is a righty. But these balls are curling in so much. And it doesn't count as an assist for him in this game, but it bounces off. And it's right there where Turkey just need to tap it in with their head just to go in the goal. It's right there. It's not a hard shot at all for them. But it bounces around, and they get the goal for that one right away in the first minute. So awesome corner. And this continues in this game too. Güler does finally get an assist. It's, again, another perfect corner. I don't think he took one bad corner in this entire game. And they're just perfect. That's the only word. 10 out of 10 perfect corners. And this time it's Demiral who gets there again for Turkey. And so just fantastic game. There was no Çalhanoğlu today for Turkey. So I really think that Arda stepped up a lot for Turkey and really delivered for them to be able to, make the upset pick that a lot of people didn't think for Austria to win the game 2-1. Güler didn't play the entire game. He gets subbed off in like the 77th minute. Austria was really pressing a lot, and so what Turkey had to do, they had to bring in a defensive person for Güler. And so, but again, fantastic game from him. And what I said before stands true. If Güler can perform at this level, and he doesn't have to score goals, but being a key player, getting those assists and getting these fantastic corners, I think Turkey have a legit shot against the Netherlands. And so great job for Arda Güler. He's awesome. Can't wait to see more of him for Real Madrid this season. 8.2 on the day for Güler. And yeah, just an awesome game. And I can't wait to talk about him more next week. Moving over to the Copa America, I had to mention Vinny Jr. and what a performance he put on against Paraguay. He gets 2 goals in this game. It's a 9.0 rating for Vinny, and just a fantastic, fantastic game for him. He has this first goal that he beats the keeper, goes around him, and just is the patience that he has to do that is just great from Vinny. And then the second one is right place at the right time as they go to clear the ball, bounces off Vinny and goes on the goal. But what seems to happen, if you're an elite player like that and you're in form, those balls just kind of bounce that way for you sometimes. And that's kind of what's happening for Vinny. And so I couldn't have this video not be mentioning him in it. So definitely shout out to Vinny. Fantastic game for him. And we'll see what happens with Brazil. They've looked pretty good in the last one against Paraguay. They struggled a little bit in some of the other ones, but we'll see what happens. I think Argentina's looked good. We have to mention Uruguay and, Fede Valverde. He's looked good for them as well, undefeated so far. And so, yeah, I would say Argentina, Uruguay, Brazil as well. Throw in Colombia as well in there. I think they've all looked really good. And so if you want to see some Copa America content from me talking about some of the Real Madrid players, definitely let me know in the comments below, and I'll see what I can do for you. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. And if you like Real Madrid, please consider subscribing. This is going to be the place to be for all your Real Madrid content in English. And so I have another video coming out this week talking about the quarterfinals and some of my predictions and my thoughts about that. So definitely keep it locked in with me. Again, thank you so much for watching this video. It's been Dally with Dally FC. Cheers. Hala Madrid.